Hello, hello. Um, I'm just recording something because I don't really know what to do right now. It's 8:34 on 11/21/25. It's a Friday. I did get some sleep. I got like two chunks of like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Um, since it's 8:30, my clothes are supposed to be coming back today, sometime, and it's should be coming back now, between now and noon. I don't know when. And I don't like to be like asleep and have a knock at the door and have to try and like blah, 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 run to the door before they like leave or something. So now I now I feel like I gotta like stay awake until they do come, because they might come in like a half hour, within the next half hour, or they might come at like 11:30. I don't know. It's up to how the driver decides to do his route. Um, yeah, and I'm pretty tired still. I there 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 is a bunch of that tale that hasn't been told, but at the same time there kind of is. Uh, there's kind of almost half that has been told already. So maybe I could just okay. Well, without telling some of the more fantastical, uh, magical mystery tour stuff. If I just skip that and jump to now I'm at the psych hospital and I'm starting to come out of the fuzz and I'm at the psych hospital. And I start talking about that. I could make that part. I could talk about that. The only problem is I'm kind of tired. So it's a bad, it's just a bad idea to make that video too. I'm just a little bit too tired to talk about that. I had the idea. Let me say some stuff about religion and spirituality. I don't know. I guess I will. You can see I'm like laying down a little bit. I'm slumped in my chair. All right, whatever. Let me say some stuff about that from my perspective. It'll be from my perspective as I'm tired and like American. I'm just blah. Now, first of all, let me say, while it's on my mind, anybody that is spiritual or religious or Christian religious or whatever, what are you doing believing Trump? I mean, the guy is using you. It should be very obvious he's using you and using your religion. And he has been for since he was starting. And since the moment he said, I'm a believer, anything that he was religious. I'm not religious, really. I had mentioned, I was wanting to convert. I want to convert in the sense that I don't really want to convert. Really, I want to clarify that statement because I think about it before I go to bed every day. A better way to say it is I really want to believe. I do. I want to believe. I want to believe in, a God and all that stuff. It's what the fuck? Okay, that's just an ash or something. Thought I fucked up my phone. I want to believe. I want to believe in all of that nice stuff. That pretty clean stuff that a lot of religious people believe in, whether you're Christian, a Jew, Muslim, Hindu, take your pick out of the grab bag of religions across the globe. I do, and I would like to. It's just, I feel like you don't really necessarily get to choose, you don't get to have the good stuff, the good touchy-feely stuff without all of the ugly baggage that comes with it. Our sun, the sun rises and sets every day. It's a source. It is the source of all life on our planet. Eventually, it's going to blow up and destroy the entire solar system. I think that's kind of religion. You can't really have all of the good stuff unless you acknowledge all of that baggage. You have to acknowledge it. And you should be willing to acknowledge it and take it on. It doesn't mean you have to, like I said, it doesn't mean you have to, especially in the modern age, follow all of the creeds of 5, 10, and 20 centuries past. The doctrines of old. They say they were divine creeds or something like that. I forget the usage. It's divinely inspired. Well, how do you know they're divinely inspired? a person had to tell you that these texts were divinely inspired. I mean, didn't they? There was always a middleman, and you always buy insurance through a middleman, don't you? I mean, so it's just, I think of it as the same thing. At some point, you have to decide for yourself. To take on the responsibility of, are you going to follow, are you going to follow text that is supposedly divinely inspired, or are you going to, I don't know, listen to your gut? I think you have to, your pastors and imams and whatever tell you so often to pray and stuff. Maybe you should do some more praying. I often say, stop and listen. Do some more listening, and and just listen instead of just hearing. Listen, meditate before you go out and kill someone because another person told you it was the right thing to do. Because killing someone is so permanent. I mean, it is permanent, yeah, sure. If you believe in the eternal afterlife, which every religion believes in some form of eternity, whether it's one life here and then the eternal afterlife, heaven, hell, or reincarnation in some form. There is a form of eternity. Now, maybe not every religion. There's, I think the Lutherans are, the you got here, and then that's it. That's a rough one. In that case, I would say, well, you really gotta make the hard decision of, I would say you better, in that case, make a good call of being your best person. And I think maybe the Jews don't believe in an afterlife either. So maybe I'm wrong there, but yeah. In that case also, we should stop being such a horrible person. I don't know. I started off by saying, I want to believe it, man. I really do. Not the least of which for, you know, the dodging of eternal, eternal punishment, which, you know, I got a recent experience in um, mortal jail, and that was bad enough. That sucked enough. Eternal jail. That would, so, I mean, eternity in a psych ward, and that was much better than the jail. That would still suck. I mean, eternity in Trinity here for eternity. I mean, you know, that would be pleasant, but eternity here? I mean, even 1,000 years here, that would, I don't know, eventually, I would probably start to grow a little bit tiring, I guess. So, yeah. That's why you don't even really, you kind of don't even need hell or the devil. It's kind of a redundant thing. A lake of eternal fire. I mean, yeah, it's painful and everything, but just, I mean, the way humans work, just existing for eternity. I mean, just being around in a finite place, you know, even one city of a pretty decent size. I mean, you know, anyone who grew up in a small town could say, imagine living there for 10,000 years. And that's not eternity by any stretch of the imagination. Just imagine living there for 10,000 years and being trapped there. Like the Twilight Zone episode where you walk to the edge of the town, and the town is 50 square miles or something like that. And you walk to the edge of the town, and all of a sudden you're on the other edge of the town. And you're like, what happened? It's like, yeah. And you gotta live 10,000 years there, and you're alive, and you can remember. You wouldn't necessarily be in physical pain, burning, but eventually you might be. I mean, it's like the movie Groundhog Day. You would be trying to kill yourself over and over again, and it just wouldn't work. So again, it just kind of wouldn't. need the devil. You would be doing it yourself. You'd be being your own devil. You'd be redundant at that point. That would be kind of almost the greatest curse, which kind of brings me to something else that I was saying, thinking, whatever. When I say saying, I mean saying to the ether, humanity is almost, they talk about the Garden of Eden in the Bible. It's like we're destroying the Garden of Eden, which is Earth, basically. Earth is the Garden of Eden. The garden. We're destroying the garden. It's like that song that says pave paradise and put up a parking lot. It's like, that's Earth. Pave paradise and put up a parking lot. I mean, I don't know if that's what they were trying to say, but it sure sounds like that's what they were trying to say. With that song. We have to try and strike some kind of balance between progress, living a life, extracting necessary resources from the natural world, and not completely destroying the planet. And also not totally overpopulating the planet and killing all the natural ecosystems and the wildlife in it. Because it's the garden. It's the natural garden. And it's being destroyed by, corporate industry and profiteering and stuff. And everybody knows it. Even the people that own the corporations, they know it. It's right in front of their faces, and they're somehow happy about it. Because they can build Mar-a-Lago and have their one lifetime worth of paradise. Real gluttonous paradise on it. And their ballroom covered in gold. Whatever, whether it's literal or figurative, I can have it. If you think the solution to all of these problems is building a network of soulless automatons to take over the tasks of daily life, including combat roles, well, then you're just kidding yourselves. I just yesterday saw a video of Tesla robots doing everything, including a humanoid robot being a police officer. And I was just like, that is definitely going way too far on the whole Tesla human robot garbage. That's just way too far. A home Tesla robot aiding with some chores is creepy and dangerous at best. And, at worst, it's, I don't know, one step away from the apocalypse. But having human-formed robots, giving them the authority to arrest people, I mean, how many of those are you going to build? 10,000? 50,000? 100,000? You're going to replace the entire police force? Then you might as well give it all up. Might as well just give up the world. Every one of us might as well just lay down on the ground and just die. Because then what are you trying to do? One of those things, each one of those things, they have sets of functions, and they do them. They don't have obligations outside of their tasks. The construction robot is a construction robot. It's not also a family man. It doesn't have to take care of kids. And it doesn't have to worry about the democratic process of society. It doesn't have to worry about whether the household robot is being treated equally or the police robot is going to destroy it because a new version of the construction robot is obsoleting it. And now that construction robot is going to be scrapped. It just does its job. And when it, 24/7, 365, by the way. It does its job until it doesn't need to. Goes back to the charging bay. Charges, goes into standby. And that's it. nothing else. A person, has kids, you gotta take care of them. Maybe has a wife. Maybe he doesn't have kids. Maybe they're disabled. A person is dynamic, multifaceted, cares about the leaders, worries. A person is complicated. People are problematic. Automatons are useful and not problematic unless they're broken. And then you can discard them or fix them. But yeah, okay, like I said before with the other robots, the thing about people too is other people care about other people. You have emotional ties. Usually, there is usually someone cares about someone. I mean, it's rare when there's a person that isn't cared about by anyone on the planet, that has seriously zero people that give zero fucks about them at all. No one gives any slight teensy weensy fuck about them. And that person doesn't give any bits of a shit about any person. Very rare. So, man, I'm tired. I think I'm gonna have to lay down at least, even if I fall asleep. There's nothing. There's nothing stopping it. I mean, even if I was in a stadium full of people and it was loud, I don't think that would be able to keep me from falling asleep. I don't think anything would be able to stop it. I think I would still fall asleep. It's just at that point. All right. Tax rich, kneecap rich, boobs.